Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Matthews. I am going to be presenting to you guys today on multicultural education in the classroom. It's very important that we discuss that because the world is ever changing and we are making it to so that the world can have a better place for everyone. What to expect during this dialogue, this presentation, is what cultural diversity looks like, what exactly it is, what is cultural competence, the foundations of cultural relevant and anti-bias materials, what exactly the cultural relevant and anti-bias activities are, how we as educators support the needs of various family structures, a strategy to connect with the cultural diverse families and promote family engagement in our classrooms. How do we, as early childhood development professionals, how do we support families in accessing the high quality education, the multicultural education that everyone needs since we have so many diverse learners? And how you will create a multicultural learning environment. Cultural diversity, essentially, the definition of cultural diversity is about bringing people together from a diverse set of backgrounds and cultures, then creating an environment that not only recognizes the difference between those cultures and backgrounds, but celebrates them. It helps create a space for people to be authentically themselves. That's from DeBar 2021. We want people to be authentic. My definition is a wee bit different in the sense of I see that we are all one world. There's only one world. We're all from it, but there's a trillion different stories. This is because we are all so unique and see things differently. I mean, no two people think exactly alike or experience the world the same way. I mean, even if you are twins or brought up in the same household, everything is different. What does cultural diversity look like in action? That is getting to know people. This is the people in your community or the kids in your classroom or the families that come through your door. Or books, having books in your classroom that are from all over the world. I mean, they're different for each country and how things are seen. It's very unique. Activities are the same way because I remember playing Ring Around the Rosie when I was a child, but somewhere else in the world there may be something completely different they play. And you can invite that into your classroom and it really offers an open conversation for you. Music is the language of the world. It is the only universal language there is. You do not have to know the language to be touched by music. So when you're actively listening to music or trying to figure out how to talk and get people involved in your classroom, music is a great way to start. Family involvement is one of the biggest things that you can get in your classroom because it offers a chance for your kids and the families to learn about different sides of things and how different people view the world from an actual living, breathing person. Cultural competence. This is what helps us respond respectfully and effectively to people from all cultures. Um, this is one of the most important things in our careers. Cultures are sex, race, religion, sexual orientation, or ethnic backgrounds. We do this in a manner that recognizes, affirms, values the worth of individuals, families, tribes, and communities, and protects and preserves the dignity of each. And that's just looking from a child welfare magazine. Article. A strategy is to try in your classroom is a meet and greet. This strategy is like the first few months of class, you have families come in and they kind of talk about their cultures, how their family is unique and how they see things differently than you see things. They could bring food from their culture. That's a great way to kind of introduce things, but also to kind of have a fun way that people can get involved. As it says here, one way to begin to value diversity is to learn about the culture and lives of all children in your classroom. What are the three foundations of cultural relevant and anti-biased curriculum? The first is the science of brain development. This is essentially working with the brain. Is singing and playing clapping games with children. This is a fun way to work on not only their vocab, but their gross and fine motor skills, but also supports brain development in the sense of they can talk and have fun with people around them. You're also looking at evidence-based learning practices. This is using schedules that are designed individualized to meet specific needs. This means using photos, drawings, and representative objects, or even having someone that speaks a language that you don't. Like if you have a Spanish-speaking person in your classroom and you don't speak Spanish, that's having Spanish on the board so they know what to expect, so they don't feel excluded. The last is having a positive, nurturing relationship with teachers. That's you guys. One of the ways is engaging in one-on-one interactions with the children, so you have that time with one another. By doing this, you're helping children to not only be better than us in the future, but allowing them to know how to have respect for those around them. You not only have to do that, you can follow the child's lead and interest in play and see what comes from that, how you can help them learn better, but also acknowledging that those children for their accomplishments and efforts. I mean, they're trying so hard in your classrooms. Also, we're looking at cultural relevant and anti-bias activity. In my classroom, we have a little boy named Joseph. He has a single-parent home. His dad is in between jobs, but his mom is his primary caretaker. He struggles with communication. And so it's important for me to let that mom know that some students take longer to communicate than others. And that may be something that you need to communicate with your peers, with your families. An activity I suggested to her is spending time together and playing together, like time talking and really following the child's lead in conversation. This not only helps with the relationship between them, but it also helps with the confidence of the child of exploring and learning how to talk and really find their way in the world. The rationale of this that I gave her was that if he uses his voice more at home, it would make him probably more comfortable to open up at school. One of the big things that we have to look at is how do we support the needs of various family structures. The family structures that I was looking at are immigrants to our country, because they have so many stressors they have to look at. Two stressors that I can think of off the top of my head are they face language barriers as well as raising their children in a brand new place, and that's got to be pretty scary for them. Two ways that I have deemed to help is helping them adjust as much to life here as much as possible, but also approaching them as the experts on their children. Helping them adjust could just be learning phrases in their language or having a translator there that can talk to them and let them know exactly what's going on in the classroom. Approaching them as experts. This gives them an idea of how I want to run the classroom, but also gives me an idea of what works best for their child. Because after all, they have raised the child, so they would know better than us. We make it easier to have higher quality education, access to that, by doing just little things that mean the world to these families. Strategies to connect with cultural diverse families and promote family engagement. This is something that I do is I have group discussions in the classroom, which gets families and children together and they can ask questions and learn about people. As long as they're respectful, I don't care that they have their side conversations as long as we're all learning together. In the music section, I have families bring in music that are important to them. And so this really gives us a conversation starter, but also a way to, have them active in their child's learning. I also make sure that they have a way to come and volunteer. That's why I have family volunteer days or days that I open the doors to my classroom that they can come in and volunteer and talk to me. How we as professionals in our early childhood careers, we support families in access of high quality multicultural education. There's 5 ways we do this. We assess our own behavior. We get to know our students and our families, make our classrooms a judgment-free zone. We adapt to new teaching practices, and we teach for all cultures. This essentially means that we're being sensitive about our interactions with people. We are showing a genuine interest in each and every child that comes through our door and their families. We encourage the voice of opinions and questions in a respectful manner. We also make sure that we have our lessons that are interactive as possible, and we try to have some student-led lessons. The last one is choosing content that reflects the culture in the classroom. This just means that you have something for everyone that might be in your classroom. Creating a multicultural learning environment. This is just using different activities and games in a way that fosters inclusivity. It encourages students to share about themselves and their heritage. It also allows, as the educators, to involve students in an immersive way. To do this, you can ask open-ended questions or just have conversations with them. This helps provide a safe place for dialogue, but also will allow them for an open door for more in-depth conversations in the future. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking to you guys. If you have any questions, I'll be taking them now. Here are some of the references that I cited. And I will meet you guys down at the end of the podium for any questions, or I can answer questions now. Thank you.